Astronomers have discovered a star in the Milky Way with a chemical composition unlike that of any other star in our galaxy. A report in the journal Nature Astronomy found that the chemical composition of this strange star, which has been named J1124 plus 4535, had previously only been seen in a small number of stars in dwarf galaxies orbiting around the Milky Way. Now, this suggests that this star may once have been part of another galaxy, a dwarf galaxy that had merged into the Milky Way millions, or more likely billions of years ago. The star was identified in the constellation Ursa Major, the Great Bear, as part of the Large Sky Area Multi-Object Fiber Spectroscopic Telescope survey. Scientists noticed the star by its unusual spectroscopic chemical composition. You see, initial observations showed that it had low abundances of elements such as magnesium. And follow-up observations using the high dispersion spectrograph on the Subaru telescope confirmed the low levels, but also found comparatively high levels of another element, europium. It's the first time an element ratio like this has been observed in any star in the Milky Way. Stars are formed through the collapse of molecular gas and dust clouds, and the ratio of the different elements in that parent cloud impart an observable chemical signature on the stars formed in the cloud. So, stars formed close together have similar element ratios. The fact that the composition of J1124 plus 4535 doesn't match any other stars in the Milky Way indicates that it must have formed elsewhere, in another galaxy. And when you look around at some of the stars in satellite galaxies orbiting around the Milky Way, you can find similar chemical compositions. And this all fits in really nicely with our models of galactic evolution. Simulations suggest that galaxies like the Milky Way grow by absorbing neighbouring satellite dwarf galaxies, a process called galactic cannibalism. It's happening all the time. Right now, the large and small Magellanic Clouds are having gas and stars drawn off them onto the Milky Way. And on the other side of the Milky Way, another galaxy, the Sagittarius Dwarf, is in the process of being totally consumed by the Milky Way. Thus, it makes perfect sense that the star J1124 plus 4535 was born in a now vanished dwarf galaxy, which sometime in the distant past merged into our Milky Way galaxy. And of course, in 3.7 billion years or so from now, the Milky Way itself will suffer a similar fate when it gets cannibalized and absorbed by the much larger Andromeda galaxy M31.